Have you ever found yourself doing something that you're not wholeheartedly doing? You just think, let's just do this and get over it. Well, we're going to be talking about that this beautiful morning as commitment. And as usual, we still have same crew, same faces, same discussion. Okay, well, not same discussion, but same faces. We have Engineer Tony and Joyce Jakada. Good morning.
My pleasure. Prudence.
It's beautiful having you this morning. Pleasure. So we're talking
I'm
about
happy to be here.
actually. Commitment. And as I said, a lot of people find themselves doing things half-heartedly. Let's just get this over and done with. Let's just do this because they're going to pay us at the end of the month. Let's just be in a relationship because people are asking me about when I'm going to get married and all that. So
they're asking you?
I'm just thinking.
Okay. I'm just asking.
Oh well, we're talking about commitment today. Let's see what's your take on commitment.
Well, I like the topic because without commitment, nothing happens. Like nothing happens. So you want to be successful, you want what you want to work, you must be committed to it. So when you talk about commitment, it's like what obligates you to something or to a cause. It can be a person, like we have that in marriage. So it is commitment. So commitment has to do with, I think, obligation. It's like a pledge you make to something. It's you being steadfast to a cause or something. So literally commitment is about obligation, being steadfast, pledging to something.
But have you heard of the phrase that said you throw yourself into something? I think a lot of people use it for commitment. That means that you're giving your all to that thing. You're giving everything that you can so that you see that thing prospers or that thing works out. And the truth of the matter is that it's really rare in the market to actually see somebody who does give his all, throw everything into what he or she is planning to do. So I want us to really talk on how people have how people have belittled the issue of commitment. I feel like a lot of us in this present day and age are not committed to anything. We're just like basically running our lives on autopilot, and we are not giving any form of commitment. And because of that, commitment has become like a strange factor, something that's really strange to people. And when you find that somebody is being committed to something, they'll say, you want to kill yourself over what? If you die now, somebody will come and replace you. So I want us to really talk about how people have belittled the importance of being committed.
People fail mostly because they do not define, let me be selfish, commitment the way I define it. Yeah. And this is it. Commitment is not a two-way traffic. Commitment is everything about you. It's not a two-way traffic, it's a one-way traffic. People think if I'm committed to something, that thing should be equally committed to me. That is why people fail. I'm committed to a wife, the wife is not committed to me. You knew that the wife is not a committed person before you married her. Or there was something you were doing that you stopped doing that made her to also stop being committed. So for me, commitment, for me, it may not be a globally accepted reality or fact, but for me, commitment is very, very personal. What is commitment, to start with? When you want to define commitment and it's not something that has to do with you, only you have failed. If you bring in a second or a third party to the issue of commitment, you have failed. Why? your theory or your ideology about commitment becomes can only be defined based on how they are committed to you. I'm in a love relationship with this woman. For example, I was on my own. I started liking her. She didn't know. So I went to their house and I talked to her about it. And she said, no, she doesn't want this. I convinced her. Right? Then finally she agreed. Then before she agreed, I was more committed because I was calling from morning. Like in the morning, before lunch, before 12, I've called 5 times. And I've seen her twice. Afternoon, I will call her 10 times and see her 5 times. Night, I will go to the house and sit down and talk and talk and talk. She will say, 12, yeah, if I can take it, I will say, if I'm with you, nothing else matter, man. You just start saying nonsense. Finally, the lady has agreed. And then you become committed at a different level. Why? Because at that point, you never saw certain things when you are committed. Now, I have seen the entirety of Joyce. Joyce gave herself to me. I did all I wanted to do without her stopping me. So I went back to my house and I relaxed. And then it became her turn now to be committed. She's the one calling. She's the one checking. She's the one picking gifts. She's the one doing all of that. She is now the committed person more than me. What happened, Prudence? It was not commitment. It was lost. I was committed so that I can gain something. I gained that thing and I stopped being committed. So commitment has to start from you as a person, disregarding whether Joyce is still committed to what I am saying or not. If she says she loves me and she's showing me, but she's not showing me the way I am showing, and she's not committed the way, it doesn't matter. I remain committed without complaining.
I get your point, but it's not possible for somebody to get tired of that kind of commitment.
Who is the person?
I'm just saying, so if you are always, you're really committed to this person, and the person is not really showing you that I'm committed to this relationship, wouldn't you get tired?
So you are tired of working here?
Wow.
Because most of the time, Prudence, it doesn't have to be about gains. It doesn't have to be about gains. It doesn't have to be about outcome. It has to be about who you are. It has to be about your intentions. Because, okay, if you want to be accountable based on your commitment, would you count it on the other person or what your own inputs?
It has to be your input.
It has to be your own inputs. So who cares what the other person thinks? Because the magnitude of love you have for what you're committed to should elongate your commitment. It should prove the elasticity of your commitment. So if you are talking about being tired, factors were not considered before you got committed. There are a lot of people, especially people that are married. A lot of people wish now, there can just be freedom from this marriage. Freedom is either she dies, because nobody wants to be the one to die in the relationship. Either she dies or she files up a divorce. But that is why, you see, in this part of the world, we suffer for no reason. Other parts of the world, if it's not working, let's go. If it's not working, let's go. Prudence, have you ever been committed in the best sense of the word?
Committed.
To a cause, to a project, to a relationship, to anything?
To a cause, yes.
Yes.
Project, yes.
Okay. Are you committed to following Christ?
Yes.
Have you ever prayed and asked for something and God didn't give you?
None that I can remember.
Okay. Have you ever prayed for 1 billion naira?
No, not yet.
Okay. Okay, not yet. Or in other words, you have prayed for 100 million, for 50 million, for 20 million. How many million have you ever prayed for?
Funny enough, I've not actually prayed concerning millions. I
Have you ever
mostly
prayed for a
the
husband?
need. Yeah,
Has he come?
not yet.
Have you stopped being committed?
No.
Has God changed being God?
No.
Have you stopped being a woman?
No.
So it doesn't have to be both ways.
Okay.
You see, when you are
I
committed, you remain committed.
I get the point now.
That is it. Commitment is not for the other person to respond. No, commitment is for you to find fulfillment. It's for you to stay true to what you believe. But you know what? People say, for you, you can quit. Like in the issues of relationship and all that, you can quit. You have been committed, you have stayed true to what you said you are and what you said you do and who you really are. But the other person decided that he doesn't want a committed person such as you. There are two words that I want to encourage anybody that is into that dilemma. Move and forward. Two words, move and what? Forward. So when you see that you have been overly committed in something, but you are not getting the same energy that matches yours, what are the two words?
Move
And
forward.
Like I said earlier on,
the process of life, before, like I said earlier on, the process of this life, is you keep searching till your search comes to an end. But people think, once I search once, it's okay. If it doesn't work, have you ever seen a lady that has cried for years that somebody has broken her heart? And finally she got married, she's still mentioning Ibrahim or Isaac. And some people just sit down and say they are names of guys that will break hearts. And then they will list them. You say, you see this one, you see this one, you see this one. They say they are names. I had my phone one time. I think I was with my wife, and then we saw something on Instagram where someone said, men that will give you money in this life. Men that will give you money. Number one, she now said, you see, what name did she call? She mentioned the name. She said, number two, Tony. My wife stood up. That means me, I don't give money. I don't know. Me, I give, but I don't know what. Women, if you don't give them 1 million for 200,000 naira need, they will. So people will just wake up and feel, but it has nothing to do with what your name is. It has nothing to do with what your name is. Why is breakup a regrettable thing? It's not a breakup that people regret. Go and check.
commitment.
Yeah, that's the point. What you invested in the relationship, that's why people cry.
True.
Just yesterday, someone called me. Uncle Tony, I said, yes. How are you? Fine. I don't have the number. So Uncle Tony, I forgot you. I said, who is this? She now said, I said, oh, sorry, I changed phone. I'm sorry. I didn't lie. I actually changed phone. So she said, Uncle, can I see you? I said, what? Where are you? She said she's at work, but when she closed, I said, what's the problem? You know what she said? She said, I've been used. And like suicide is even small. That I want to be forgotten and all of. And she has a son out of wedlock. So she said that the person that she invested from her small salary, she was committed. She was checking. She would go and wash, do all these things, clean, cook, do all the duties that ladies do. That fine. She was the one that even gave him money to do his visa interview. Suddenly, he's posting pictures of him and his wife abroad, and he has blocked her. So I said, she was as serious as. So I said, where should we meet and celebrate? She said, no, see, I'm not the one he married. I said, I know. It's not possible that you are the one he married and you are telling me this story. Sometimes when things don't happen, celebrate it. Why don't we always think that it was God saving us from something disastrous? Why? So what she's regretting is not that he got married. There are people that we dated. They didn't marry us. They married other people. Did we die? But what is paining us is what we invested in the relationship. And you know the worst kind of investment is what you the thing that you invested the most in a relationship, do you know, people don't think about it too well. Belief. What you were told, you so believed it that now it has expired and you look like the biggest fool. It was not even the action, it was the belief. You invested so much your belief in the relationship, and it turned out this way. What was that point you were trying to make? I still remember it. That's your merit for bringing me to this show.
Well, I'm happy.
Okay.
We are learning. So, like I said earlier on, without commitment, nothing happens. But a lot of time we commit ourselves to the wrong things. And that's why we end up having regrets. We end up feeling pained. Some people end up taking their lives by committing suicide. So people need to start asking themselves, what am I committed to? What have I pledged my time to? What am I steadfast in doing? You've been doing things for years, but nothing is coming out of it, nothing is working. Why? Can you check your commitment to that thing? Because, like, for instance, if I talk about job, for example, some people will go out there, look for a job, and then they will get it, and then they are working, they're not finding fulfillment, they are not happy, and all of that. How committed are you to what you're doing? Like, I've not seen someone that has a skill, values his skills, believe in it, and then he's so committed to it that he's feeling in that area. But, you know, there are people that just say, oh, I'm just working for the money, as important as it is, but where there's no passion, there's no way you'll be committed to it. You just do it because this is where I just find myself, or I'm just doing it, I'm like more like in the weight room before what I'm expecting, and then what you're expecting is not forthcoming. What you're doing, you're not committed to it, and you can't get result, or you can't find fulfillment or success in it. So what are you committed to? I think is a very important question that a lot of people should begin to ask themselves. What am I committed to? Because if you are not committed, nothing will ever work out. It won't work out. So commitment makes everything happen. Whether at work, your relationship, if you are not committed, it's not going to work. So we need to get to that point of being obligated to what we are doing. First, you can't just become committed to just nothing or anything. What is the purpose? What is the cause that first you want to commit yourself? Have you come to the point of realizing who you are? Because so many people are living other people's lives. Today you want to do this, tomorrow you want to do that, next tomorrow you see another person succeeding in this area, it is that area. You're living in confusion. If you're living in confusion, you can't be committed to anything. So who am I? What can I do? Like, where is my area of strength? What are my values? What do I want to become? What are your goals? Like, that goal you're setting the next how many years, I want my business to be this big. How committed are you to achieving that dream? Some people every year they write down things, number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 10, as much as possible. Before the end of the year, I want to achieve this. 1st January, you sleep and wake up 4 p.m. You just go back to sleep. That's how, like, it becomes a routine. And then forgetting that you said before the end of the year, I want to build house, I want to buy car, I want to do this. Yes, miracle no dey tire Jesus, but what effort are you putting in? Because there are people that just say, oh, well, you know, God can just, and you're not doing anything.
Sorry to cut you, but you just heard some people out there saying...
You're learning fast. You're cutting people anyhow now. You're learning fast.
Okay, so I was saying...
Joyce is taking it personal.
Okay.
2 to beat 1.
How is the solid rock I stand on?
So you're just saying some people would just say miracles, no, they tire Jesus. But the interesting part of this thing is that if you check it, they're not even actually committed to the Jesus that they are expecting miracles from. So how do you just expect miracle from something or someone that you're not even committed to?
to.
This is this is something that is really important. If you're committed to him, then definitely miracles no dey tire him. He does it when he feels like as when it is right. He would give you miracles. But this time around, you just dwell on the miracles and then you fold your hands and not do anything. You're not committed to him, neither are you committed to the work of your hands that he has given you. You're not committed to nothing. But you're expecting that you would prosper and you would blossom. How do you expect that to function? He himself said that you should not be lazy. In not exactly the way I said it, but he made sure that the whole Bible, throughout the whole Bible, you will see emphasis on how you should not be lazy. You should get your hands doing something and be committed to what you're doing.
Today you show up, tomorrow you're not there.
Exactly.
Like, how do you expect your business to blossom? How do you expect to grow in your career? How do you expect that skill that you're building is going to be there? Because things are evolving. The world will not wait for you. Nobody is staying in one place. Every hour, things are coming up. So if you're not living in accordance to time, like you're not learning new things, you're not doing things, you're not showing up, then you will not go anywhere. You can't be, okay, you have a business. Today you open, tomorrow you will not open. You want to blossom, how? You have to show up each day. That's where your commitment comes from.
Exactly.
By showing up. So that purpose, that cause that you're running or you're doing, how do you believe in it? Because if you don't believe in something, there's no way. That's why I was giving an example. One of the days we were discussing about how that some companies will go ahead to train, retrain their staff. But yet you still see people that, like, they don't make use of the knowledge. They don't care. Like, they don't care. And there are other people that are committed that they won't even wait for companies to train them or the organization. They find the knowledge. They seek for information. They watch videos. They try to learn new things. That's commitment. If you are doing something and you're passionate about it and you like to grow in it, then you will be committed. So I think people should come to that point of defining the cause. What is the cause first? And then, am I passionate about it? What do I want out of this? And that way, you will be committed to it.
Yeah, very true. I'm not sure which of you mentioned this, but I think it was Engineer Tony that mentioned, one of the episodes of Today's Live that he said...
It's me. Was he a good point? It's me. It was me.
Make the points.
If you say something that is not good, I will redirect my... People should not mind us on this show.
I think it was on the episode where we were talking about blossoming. Yes, when you kept on emphasizing that blossoming is a deliberate, something that you do deliberately, something that you put your hands to, you give your all to do it, and you can't be deliberate about something that you're not committed to.
See, you Joyce made some very strong points. I think I have to go and watch the show again so that I can learn from what she said, and so that Prudence, I can clap for you for doing well, really training this girl well. Doing well, Prudence. Gombe people are training Plateau people to become better in broadcast business.
All thanks to you people.
On Christ, the solid rock,
I stand. All other grounds are sinking sand.
You must. She said there is a negative commitment. I think that was what she started with, and it caught my attention. Are you counting the impact? Is the impact long lasting in the thing that you are committed to? If yes, then that means you have to start looking for means to be accountable with what you are committing yourself to, or what you are committed to. Then thirdly, you must set short-term goals. As I'm committed in this area, I intend to see that this happens. I intend to see that this happens. I intend to see that this happens by 3 months. I've been in this love relationship with this guy for this period of time. If this guy is not saying anything in the next 6 months, I will start backing out. Yet, my commitment is still intact while I back out. And people think backing out is reducing your commitment. No. I cannot forget saying this on today's life, that the person that broke up with you on the 1st of August, that is just the date he made it official. The lady that broke up with you on the 1st of August, that's just a date that the breakup was made official. But they probably might have broken up with you like last August. But you don't know. You are related to yourself. She comes around, she sees you, she does this. You see, we men, we don't read well. We don't read well. You people read more than we do. I'm not talking about a book. I'm talking about body languages. When a brother starts giving a lady, see, when you start doing something with somebody else, she may not just tell you, but she knows. She knows. Because your commitment is still there, but she's reading your soul. And she knows. But us brothers, the lady is withdrawing. She's asking you for money you are sending. And she's investing it in the other place that she just started business. True. So you have to count the impact. You have to look at it. Is it a long-lasting impact? Would my commitment create a long-lasting impact? She said some organizations are spending money to train people. Yet, within the same organization, some people are seeing the training as something that is not viable. Meanwhile, other people have taken it to heart. They say no knowledge is wasted. But for some people, from the beginning of something, do you know there are companies that send people abroad for training? Yet they come back and somebody by the roadside is making more impact with his business or her business than they that are under air condition, traveling abroad for trainings, for holidays and all that. It's all the mind. One other angle that she came out from was people watch videos on YouTube, they read, they do all these things to add knowledge so that they can be more committed to what they do. How can you be committed to something when you are not knowledgeable about it? You can't. Commitment is not being there all the time. No, it's not. It's the least anybody can do. See, nobody praises you for just being human. Nobody. I'm telling you, go and check. Nobody praises you for just being human. For just being alive. Nobody praises you. People praise you from the results they see of your commitment to something. Today, we have people like Elon Musk. What we are praising is their commitment to what they do. We have people like Bill Gates. We are praising their commitments to what they do. We have people like Dangote. We are praising their commitments to what they do. Someone told me that Dangote is when he's traveling, he puts like many people in his plane. He has meeting with you. They can drop you at the next airport. You fly back to your country and all of that. That's how his life is. I don't know how true, but that's how his life is. I was opportune to work with a governor, and I see that if you are traveling between a distance between a state to another state, they can park that convoy 5 times. When they are parking, you are going out to join another car. Prudence is coming in to talk to him. They will do, for some people, till he gets to Abuja, he's still talking to them, and then they continue talking the next day, and then you see that person around him for like 2-3 months. What does that tell you? This person is more committed to what he does, that he has so much information about what he does. But some people, 10 kilometers, they have dropped them, and then somebody else comes in. Some people, they will tell them, your own is not here. Let's get to Abuja first and discuss. You are committed. You are committed. A thief is committed to stealing. And in most cases, they are successful. Look at this. Yes, look at the saying, 99 days for the thief, 1 day for the owner. Why is it not 1 day for the thief, 99 days for the owner? It's because they are slick. They are committed. They are learning skills on how to thief, so you don't get them. They don't want to be caught. They are so slick. They are so smooth. They are like men. And they come and talk to you, be like, whoa, we are wearing this wedding gown. 6 months later, you change your mind. Why? Because you started praising something you never saw any iota of commitment in. So we have to be careful. We have to start, what are you committed to? Start asking yourself. So what is the impact that this commitment is bringing? Or that I'm seeing from this commitment? If there's nothing, think again. 2 words. Think again. The first one is what? Move and what? Forward. The second one is think and what? Again.
Very true, very true. The issue of commitment cannot be overemphasized. I think that it is one of the most important things, or most important phenomena, that we have neglected, and I would like to say that that's basically one of the worst. I mean, one of the most serious reasons for us, Nigeria, not to move forward, because a lot of us are just moving on autopilot. Nobody's being committed about anything. Everybody's just moving. Okay, the government needs to do what they have to do, but you're not even playing your own part. Most of the times that's what happens. And then the government is now not doing this. They're not committed to the citizens, so we're not seeing any progress. And you find that even at homes, you find that the father and the mother are not even committed to each other for them to even be committed to the children. But the children are not even committed to their parents. Everybody's just running solo. And when you're running solo, if you were even committed to something running solo, it would be of importance to you, and you would have substance, you would have value. But a lot of times you're not even committed to important things. Maybe, for instance, I'm going to use the community around me. You just find that somebody is so committed to doing his business just for him to get a smoke. Somebody is so committed to, every morning you see him on that Okada, but by evening you're seeing him with sticks and leathers. He's going out there to take some smoke. That's his commitment. He has to have a smoke at the end of the day. So whatever function that he's taking, whatever thing he's doing, is for that reason and that reason alone. And we find a lot of people like that.
You see, Prudence, commitment binds you to a cause or a purpose or a person. It binds you. And that's why you need to always ask yourself, like, not just asking, think before making commitments. There are things you commit yourself, and then later you are like, oh, like, after looking at the effect or implication, you're beginning to wish you didn't. And there's one thing with commitment is that when it binds you to that thing. Some people find it even hard. That's why I talk about addiction. Hard to break up from those things. That's why I said earlier on that, what are you committed to in the first place? Have you thought about it? There are people that are so committed to the wrong things that it keeps them so stagnant. They are just stagnated in one place. Could be friendship, wrong relationship. Like, it might be a thing that you're doing that is not really, it's just some form of negative commitment. You just see that you've been doing this thing and then it's not making sense. It's possible that you can be committed to a good cause and then you're not growing in it. How knowledgeable are you? That's where knowledge comes, and information. How knowledgeable are you about that particular skill or profession or business? Because somebody will just see someone blossoming in a particular business. Oh, wow. So somebody can make it from this Akara business. Let me start my own. And you're not knowledgeable about it. There's no way you blossom in it or you succeed. So that's why you ask yourself, where lies my passion? Where lies my strength? Where lies my ability? We are all like created with abilities in us. But most times we want to become the second version of another person. And that's why you keep doing that thing that the person is doing and you're not near the person. Most times people live confused lives. Like you don't know where, like you see this defining purpose, I think is one area that a lot of people, especially young people, find difficult to identify. Maybe because of peer pressure, maybe because of the societal expectations, maybe because of the availability of information left, right, center. Especially now with the advent in technology, where you just keep seeing informations everywhere. This person is giving you this angle, this person is saying this person, and you see people just confused about life. What am I supposed to do? Where lies my calling? Where is my strength? Where people are confused. But you need to get to the point of realizing, identifying where your strength is. It is in identifying your strength that commitment becomes easy. You find joy in doing that thing. So you won't struggle to commit because one, your strength, you have strength in it, you love it. You don't need, like there are people that wake up, but when somebody is struggling to wake up 5 a.m., somebody is up 4 a.m. and is already doing what he loves doing. And he keeps doing it. Tell me why you won't bloom in that area.
Your willingness, your loyalty, your love, and your belief for what you do is what makes you committed to it. Because willingness, loyalty, love, belief, it makes you want to know more about it. It makes you want to apply more, you understand, to that cause. It makes you want to do everything to like make sure you succeed. You can't be regular. I said earlier that nobody appreciates you for being human. No, nobody. Even work, nobody appreciates you for going to work. People appreciate you for becoming extra at work. It's not just about having a job. People appreciate you for being extra. People appreciate you for staying true to values. People appreciate you for commitment. People appreciate you for belief. People appreciate you for love. People appreciate you for loyalty to your work. People appreciate you for your commitment to the work. And that appreciation is what gives an energy to the cause. It's what gives energy to you in return. It's what gives energy to the people working with you. But if you say, this work doesn't pay me much, so I won't kill myself. Already you are dying. I won't kill myself means I will not invest more on myself. So let me just be neutral and be regular. But imagine that you stay there for 6 years. And after 6 years, you are going somewhere else. And you've made a decision that you won't kill yourself. And now you got to this place, they are expecting more from you. Someone told me that, I can see that you are really using your staff well, and then, though they are complaining that they don't have time for any other thing. And when they leave your place, like they get a job that gives them time. I said, that's what kills you. That time that you have, that there's nothing that you will be attached to it, is what kills you. Because when you have time and there's nothing to do with it, you'll do anything with it. Imagine, most of the time, when you are at work, you are just praying for closing time to come. Meanwhile, there's nothing to go and do at home. Just to get home and relax. You are more committed to your comfort what your body is requiring from you. The body is not created to suffer. And ladies get that very correctly. I want to be pampered. I want baby girl treatment. I want all of that. What's wrong with that? There's nothing. But if you cannot give yourself all the things you are desiring, you have failed. You are asking for all of these things from a man who is killing himself. I watched a video yesterday, Lois and Joyce, Prudence and Joyce. It was a man that they loaded a lot of bags on him, like 8 of them. And he was walking to the next point where he could drop them. And there was another vehicle that was taking them one after the other, and he went back to get more. He was going back and forth. And I started thinking, why was he doing that? Maybe that's the only available means of livelihood for him. But you know what? The work that you use your brain to do and the work that you use your strength to do, they are 2 different things. Go and check. The whole world over, the work that you use your brain to do pays you more than the work you use your strength to do. If we put these bags on you, just 2, you might collapse. Why? Because your brain cannot process how your body should carry it. Look at the bones on his body that he's stressing. Look at all of these things that he's using. When that guy goes home and they tell him, is this all you can bring? How can he be committed to that kind of relationship? He will start looking for... Men love to be appreciated, especially at home. See, if a man in a different room hears his wife saying to someone, my husband, I can't imagine myself with another person, no. This man is just all I have asked God for. And God has been... Like, she's not aware. She's not aware that he's hearing her. She's saying the truth, like she's telling someone. This man takes care of us. It's not that he's rich, but if he has 100,000, he will make sure that his family eats 70,000 from it. Whether it is school fees, whether it is feeding, whether it is what. The man will be more committed than the woman who says, is this all you can offer? I watched a clip of how a woman was always complaining of how she's tired of being married to the man and she wants to leave. He doesn't satisfy her sexually. He doesn't do this, that he doesn't last and all of that. So she was complaining. So he said, okay, I need you to give me, to do press up, let me count. So she started press up. When it got to 10, she said she can't do it anymore. He said, then you should know I work hard. Appreciate me. I will do more. If everybody wants to be appreciated for every effort, even though I tell people not to expect it. People want it, but don't expect it. The expectation alone is frustrating. Especially how much more when it doesn't come. Go back to the first thing I said when we started this show. Commitment is for you. Commitment is for you. It's not for Joyce that you are committed to. No, it's for you, Prudence, that is committed to Joyce. If you are, go and ask all the married men you know today. Ask them this question. If you were to remain in your marriage based on how you are appreciated, would you still be married? Ask any married man you know. Or even post it on your status where nobody knows what the rest... They will tell you no. Because it's difficult for a woman that says, I love my husband, to say my husband is doing well. Why? So who would remain committed in a place like that? Coming back to what you said, if the energy is not there. Why do men go outside and remain outside? You know what I'm saying? They are appreciated, so they are committed. Appreciate your man sincerely. Appreciate your job sincerely. Appreciate your co-workers sincerely. Appreciate your parents sincerely. Appreciate your children sincerely. Sincerely.
Very true. And I think that commitment is like really important for every form of relationship, every form of work, every form of, in fact, for every phenomenon on earth, commitment is really, really important. I think that's one of the most important things. And little wonder God said to the Israelites that He wants them to have no other gods before Him. It's just commanding you to be very committed to Him. And He kept on saying a whole lot more about commitments gradually. And the moment that commitment slips, there's a punishment for it. So I want us to keep that in mind as well. If you don't have commitment towards something, I think your life is just going to run. As I said, a lot of people run on autopilot, and tomorrow you're complaining, oh, I'm not getting what I want. I'm not reaching the where I've pictured myself to be in. But that's mostly because there's no commitment there.
There must be total, complete commitment to whatever you believe in, or whether a purpose or a cause. Total commitment. You can't do, oh, today you're committed, tomorrow you're not. Nothing will work out, like I said earlier on. Without commitment, nothing happens. And that's why when the Bible was talking about commitment, like Proverbs 3:5-8, it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. So it's not about, I'm committed to this partly while I'm trying to balance. Some people always say I'm balancing when they want to excuse commitments. They say I'm trying to balance.
Joyce, is because they forget the second part of that scripture. Trust in the Lord with what? Say, lean on not your own understanding. That's where they are trying to balance. Because if you are committed, if you say with the whole of your heart, there's nothing left.
Yes.
That's why it qualifies it by saying, lean on not on your own understanding.
And that's interesting because...
And it says, in all your ways. Kai.
And then it's interesting because
in all your ways.
In the New Testament, He's like, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your
mind, strength.
So there's no room for division in commitment.
Yeah.
So when there is a curse, you believe in that curse is the right course, then you submit to it totally.
Yeah, he stressed that. Is the right.
Yes, because some people are committed to negative things. You spend time gossiping, you spend time in the wrong relationship, your energy, your effort, and all of that. And at the end of the day, you're bitter, you're angry, you're crying, and all of that. So, what are you committed to? Again, I will ask. What are you committed to?
What you just said made me understand. Earlier on, I mentioned that you throw yourself into something. I understand why people used that phrase. Throw yourself into whatever you are doing. Throw yourself into it. It's like you're giving yourself away. Every other thing does not matter. It's because I'm focused on this thing, so I'm throwing my all to it. I'm giving it everything. There's nothing holding you back. I'm sorry for cutting you short.
You've been cutting it from the beginning so well. I would just encourage people out there to first and foremost, because
trust in the Lord.
Your heart. So before you commit to that job, that relationship, that whatsoever it is, you must commit to God first. You must commit to God. That's what the Bible says, seek first the kingdom of God. Every other thing will be added. So it's going to be easy for you to commit to whether your job, your family, your friends, like the right relationship. It's going to be easy for you. So seek first the kingdom of God. Be committed. That God that you said, miracle no dey tire am. How is your personal relationship with Him? He has said a lot of things, promises. Are you aligning yourself to it, or you are this way and you're saying, I'm committed to this? So whatever you do, don't forget to trust the Lord with all your heart.
Your last words?
Stay committed to whatever you believe. If you don't believe it, don't be committed. If you believe it, be committed. Love it, trust it. Fire on.
Well, that's it on today's live, this beautiful morning. And I hope you enjoyed this interesting conversation. Just always remember that commitment is one of the most important. In fact, commitment is the most important thing that you should have in your heart, in your mind. Commitment should rule you. You should be committed in everything that you put your hands to. And that's the only way that you see success. Most importantly, be committed to God, and every other thing will be added as well. Bye for now. It was lovely having you, and we do hope that you join us again.